To the top, here I go, think I'm chosen to be the king of rock, think the people have spoken. I can hear the tick-tock of the clock, I'm in motion. So now I'm gonna pop, causing all this commotion.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fat Boy Cartel podcast. We're going to review NXT for May 11, 2021. The show started off tonight with Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano in the ring. They awaited the arrival of Karrion Kross. And Karrion Kross's entrance, I'll tell you this right now, is 1,000 times better than anything on Monday Night Raw. It's not hard to
I mean, that's
do.
a low bar.
Right.
There's no birds or no shit like that?
No, absolutely not. You would be surprised that they actually don't do those little hijinks on NXT. But
How that works.
right. Austin Theory and Gargano looked terrified as they stood at ringside. Gargano then broke his terrified gaze and said, "You got this, Theory, you got this," and told him to get in the ring. His comedic timing was absolutely great here, though. I know they kind of played him off as a goofball a lot lately, but this was pretty funny. So... this was mostly a squash match between Karrion Kross and Austin Theory. Beth Phoenix even commented on commentary. She said that this match was happening after a harmless, innocent comment from Austin Theory was taken wrongly. But didn't he make basically a boob innuendo before he started to talk about her nails instead? I don't know if I call that very innocent. But anyway, she tried to explain it off as if Austin Theory really didn't do anything wrong here for some strange reason. Gargano distracted the referee. Austin Theory raked the eyes of Karrion Kross to get a temporary advantage, but Kross hit his finisher for the win. Like I said, Kross basically destroyed Austin Theory here and stared at Gargano as he got the ref stoppage victory after he choked out Austin Theory. After the match, Finn Balor snuck in the ring and stood next to Karrion Kross. Finn said he didn't want to wait in line, and he doesn't wait in line. He and Kross said they both want to do this, so I guess we now have our next NXT Championship match. Kross versus Finn Balor. We'll see how the rest.
I think that's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, they announced it later on the show.
Week.
Yeah. But I wrote here at the time, since we didn't know when the match was going to be, we'll see how the rest of the contenders like Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, and Papa John, Johnny Gargano himself feel about this. We get a little bit of that a little bit later to see how those contenders felt about it, because we all saw him get in the ring with Karrion about a week or so ago, and they were confronting him. But Finn Balor's the one getting the opportunity first from the seams of it. After this, we had Kushida and Raquel Gonzalez arriving at the building for their title matches this evening. Just typical backstage outside arrival type stuff. Earlier in the day, they showed a video from William Regal and Leon Ruff meeting in Regal's office. Ruff wants a match, but Regal says he is not cleared for the evening. So Ruff starts to trash Regal's office, and Regal demands he get out. So he says he can't wrestle tonight due to that. Keep that in mind as this show progresses. Next, we had Fandango versus MSK, non-title match. Outside of AEW, just a quick note here, NXT has the best tag team division in America, in my opinion. It's neck and neck with AEW, in my opinion, but the women's division NXT has the best right now, though AEW is steadily improving there as well.
Now, with the Fandango match with MSK, correct?
Yes.
That's when I jumped in. This match, it was a pretty good match. Best tag match I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good.
That too is a low bar.
Right. Well, that's the thing, though.
But there was this one spot that as I saw it and just ew. It was when Tyler Breeze did what looked like an arm drag into the corner. Okay. It just looked.
Is that the one where the guy from NSK basically looked like it landed right on his head?
Yes.
I think, yeah, I caught it. But
it didn't look like he actually had the arm drag. From the angle they shot it in, it just looked like the guy from MSK just somersault flipped into the corner.
Again, that's one of the things we talked about when we did the review for WrestleMania weekend and stuff. Like, I applaud these guys' athleticism to the fullest, but shit like that is why you have short wrestling careers.
Yeah,
and you get mistakes like what happened to Humberto.
Which
Monday.
Luckily, it sounds like he's okay, so that's a good thing.
It sounds like it wasn't a planned spot, but I think it was Meltzer said today that if Humberto wanted to, he could wrestle tomorrow.
Right,
Okay.
right. So that's a good thing. Now, however, we'll probably discuss some injury news on our weekly podcast on our pro wrestling segment this week. We'll get into Ricky Starks from AEW. Apparently, he fractured his neck on that spot a few weeks ago. We went to flip out of the German suplex and he landed on his head, and I guess he also got a knee injury in that. So, but luckily they say he may only be out 3 months. For a neck injury, which is crazy. I figured he'd be out like a year, but so that's good news at least.
Months
but
at the
still,
very least.
yeah. But to wrestle a match with a fractured neck, oh my god, he continued that match.
Kurt did.
Yeah, that's a good point. But we'll get into AEW probably tomorrow night. This here with Fandango versus MSK I wrote it was a good fun match. There was a sequence in this match though where the guys were running back and forth against the ropes and doing the little hop over or drop down spots. And
the ref did that too.
And when Tyler Breeze came off the rope, the ref laid down underneath Tyler Breeze, and then when Breeze came back, he did a leapfrog over Tyler Breeze and got really pumped up over it. So it was kind of like a house show spot, and I thought it was a lot of fun. It was very cool.
I liked it.
Yeah, I got a good laugh out of it. The crowd seemed to enjoy it. So, I mean, that's the kind of thing I wish they do more of. Some of that house show stuff where you are playing a little bit more. And it's not so dang serious. And especially in a match with Fandango, you could definitely get away with it. There's certain teams you could do that with.
Yeah.
Wade Barrett also said that he's never liked referees who hog the spotlight after this spot, though. I wonder if that was a subtle dig at Aubrey Edwards on AEW. Because that's the criticism with her sometimes, that she kind of overacts a bit, which I love Aubrey. But there's some people who have that criticism of her.
I doubt it. I mean, it was just probably him being.
He did talk like he was in character, like he always never got along with referees. So maybe that's all it was. But it was just kind of, I don't know. Again, part of me is just kind of like, was that a dig? Was it not? I don't know. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just me. MSK get the win here. Afterwards, Fandango shake their hands in a show of respect. So, good moment there. And I guess MSK said something about going after Legado del Fantasma, like if they wanted a shot to come at him after the match. So, let's see. After that, we had commentary said that Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf would not have a match tonight due to Alexander Wolf having a stomach flu diagnosis. Apparently, there was a video that was released earlier on Twitter with the other two members of Imperium questioning the diagnosis from the doctor. I don't know if that's to tease Imperium maybe having dissension there, or if, Alexander Wolf actually did have a stomach flu tonight. I'm not totally sure which is which.
Hey, man, sometimes, when you got to go, you got to go. And sometimes it don't stop. So, it is what it is.
Don't stop till you get it. Come on.
We should take, if a man says his stomach is acting up, we should just take it for what it is.
Yeah.
Don't read into it,
Don't need to have an accident.
Yeah. Nobody wants that on their conscience.
I mean, I got a feeling since they released that on Twitter earlier today that it is some sort of storyline, but we'll see where they go. That was all we really got from.
No, man, it ain't story. Okay. He just had to poop. It is what it is.
So if it is story though, are they trying to say that Alexander's faking it to get out of matches?
Well, remember last week or the week before, I think it was last week, where he was going to hit Killian Dane with a chair or something at ringside, chose not to, and Imperium got on to him like, what are you doing? Why aren't you hitting him? So it's almost like he doesn't want to hit his old friend Dane from Sanity Days.
Yeah, I mean, it's more or less, it's him getting out of being in a situation where he's put in a situation where he has to either choose Imperium over his old Sanity buddy.
So I mean, they could go a couple ways with this. Either like he could be broken off from Imperium and rejoin Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. I mean, it's hard. It's just hard to tell. There's
have Wolf and Dane reteam and drop Drake from that equation.
Well, even if you keep Drake in the equation, you can still do 3.
Drake has been working his ass off. Yeah.
And you could do 3-on-3 with the remaining members of Imperium if Walter shows up.
Yeah.
So that could be a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know if that's the route they're going, but I mean, I'll be all for it. After this, we had Gargano. He showed up in William Regal's office complaining, and Regal says he's still going to face Bronson Reed next week for the North American title. Gargano
in a steel cage.
Oh yeah, which they announced a little bit later on.
That's gonna suck ass.
yeah, probably for Gargano for sure. Gargano started to reach for William Regal's brass knuckles that he had on his desk that he keeps because he used to use them in the ring.
Okay, so that's what that was.
Yeah.
I was confused by that.
It's kind of like it's almost like a trophy.
I just saw like a red. It just looked like a red thing with something in the middle.
Yeah,
of it,
it's encased in this red case.
the lighting didn't do him any favors.
Right. Well, Regal warned him not to grab those, and then Gargano then grabbed Regal's pencil instead and snapped it against his knee as he stormed off. So it was just Gargano throwing a little bit of a temper tantrum, but it's kind of funny.
Scary Gargano.
Right. After this, we had the announcement of NXT TakeOver In Your House will return Sunday, June 13th on Peacock, hosted by the one and only Todd Pettengill from back in the day.
Wow.
So that'll be interesting. And I'll tell you this, I'm very glad to see the old shows are becoming a thing again in NXT, like In Your House and Halloween Havoc. So it feels like Triple H really has his finger on the pulse of the wrestling fan community when it comes to these old titles for these old pay-per-view shows. Not just that, but
I legit was just I posed that question. What was it last week about what old
yeah.
And In Your House was one of the ones that I was like, I kind of miss In Your House.
Yeah, and I know they did the Halloween Havoc. I don't remember when they started that again, but he's been doing it a little bit. I'd like to see maybe Starcades and Great American Bash. I mean, I know they're WCW titles, and I know they did a Starcade at one point, but it wasn't
main roster's done the Starcade at least twice.
Yeah.
But was it non-televised? I believe the last time they did it.
I can't remember, dude.
Yes,
I think yes, it was.
It was not televised.
So and of course,
I still want to see King of the Ring make a return.
Right, and I think NXT would do a great job with it. And of course, NXT also did War Games. So
I think it would fit NXT way.
Oh yeah, even better.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know if you want to do it this way, but maybe like King of the Ring winner gets to go to the main roster. But at the same time, it's like that's a demotion.
Why would you want it to
be?
Well, if it was set up the way it's supposed to be, and the main roster is supposed to be a promotion and actually a better place to go, which it's not. But if it was, I think it would be a good concept.
But at least in NXT, the winner of the King of the Ring, it holds weight behind it. You know what I mean? It would mean something, and I think it'd be great if they could do it.
Get it for a title shot at like maybe with a WrestleMania takeover or something.
Yeah,
that would be great. I mean, something or a big maybe SummerSlam, something like that.
Essentially, make King of the Ring NXT's version of Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But it actually means something.
Mm-hmm. After this, we let's see here. We also had Ever Rise in the crowd. They were shown with a sign that says Ever Rise Live. No big deal. They're just kind of making an appearance. After this, we had Pete Dunne promo. Says he does not blame Karrion Kross for picking Finn Balor because he's the toughest bruiserweight, and says sooner or later Kross won't be able to duck him any longer. Pete Dunne then challenges anyone in the back to step up. That's when Leon Ruff jumped him from behind, even though Regal said he wasn't medically cleared to wrestle and wouldn't be in a match tonight. Commentary said that Regal cannot stop Ruff from accepting an open challenge. Why not? Why can't he?
I mean,
it's still a match, right?
Challenge.
Yeah, but
it's an open challenge.
If you're not cleared to wrestle,
it's just like I'm not. It's like, are you coming in for overtime tomorrow? Sure. What time? 9:00. I come in at 8. They cannot go. Oh, you're here at 8. Go sit in the cafeteria.
But they can't. But they can get mad at you if you say you're going to be there and you don't show up, I suppose.
Yeah, but he was there. He never said he wasn't going.
I just feel like if he can't wrestle in a match, he shouldn't be in a match.
He can't wrestle in a match that Regal sets him up because Regal told him.
But then why can't Regal send out security say, you ain't cleared, I'm not taking the risk, get out of the ring?
He could have, but then you wouldn't have got that match.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, the match was a lot of fun. I was about ready to get into this here.
Pete Dunne fucked him up.
Oh yeah, this was Pete Dunne absolutely punished Leon Ruff in this match.
And now Regal can go. I told you.
Yeah.
I fucking told you so. Dumbass.
So now you're going to be gone for even longer.
That could be.
Yep.
This was definitely hard hitting, lots of joint manipulation, obviously, in a Pete Dunne match. Ruff got some
British joint manipulation.
Yeah, Ruff definitely got some stiff offense in on his own, though. Pete Dunne got the win with a ref stoppage after locking in a submission, wrapping his legs in a triangle-type submission hold, and leaned in to deliver brutal elbow shots to Ruff's head, where he could not defend himself. And after the match, Dunne snapped on Ruff. And
that spot was fucking. I was like, damn.
It was pretty brutal. After the match, Dunne snapped Ruff's fingers before leaving. So insult to injury.
Again, now Ruff it's one of those where Regal's like that disappointed dad when you come to the back of this.
Yeah,
I
mean that's true.
Like I tried to help you and you wanted to be hard-headed. It's like a lesson too.
Help me help you.
Yeah, you got that one kid and you're like, listen, don't do this, and then they do it and then they get hurt and you're like,
I tried.
I mean, I know I saw a few people on Twitter that were acting like, way rough and Regal got nose to nose in his office before this all took place, that they were thinking that it looked as if they were setting Regal up for another match, maybe against Leon Ruff. But he gets in a lot of faces of wrestlers who disagree with him, so I don't know if I'd go that far.
How many times he came close to kissing Adam Cole?
It's William Regal.
Yeah.
Like, come on. He's not the pushover.
No.
He's not some, pencil pusher. He'll punch you with those brass knuckles. You keep it up.
Yeah.
Now I could maybe see one of those spots maybe coming at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't think a full-blown match,
I don't think they're not gonna set up a match. No.
God,
he's
no.
just as tough.
I wouldn't want that.
I don't think Regal would want that, to be honest with you.
No, how long's he been retired? Since at least
It's been a while.
06, 07?
Wow, has it
been
been that
with
long?
Eugene?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I gotta look it up.
15 years? There ain't no way he's coming back if it's 15 years.
No.
I mean,
I feel like his last run was when Eugene was in the company.
It's very possible. I mean, I like the fact that he's a take no nonsense, no crap GM or authority figure, whatever he is right now. I guess,
and he's been that authority figure since they really launched NXT.
Yeah, and that's one of the best things about it. They haven't switched
outside of the game show. Yeah.
Oh God, don't remind me of that old garbage. NXT is way better now.
NXT had to go through some rough spots.
Good point.
Where they are.
Remember that when you criticize AEW.
Nah, fuck that.
Sorry, go ahead, David.
You retired in 2013.
Okay, so it's not been as long, but still, it's 8 years. I mean, that's still quite a retirement. So
look, he's stuck with it. That's
right.
for damn sure.
Good for him. Not a lot
I
of guys.
I thought he's older than that. He's only 53.
Hey, I mean, at that age,
I mean, that's fucking Goldberg shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Goldberg's
not saying it'd be
older
good.
than
I mean, with William Regal's style, he might be able to get away with it. But
no, I think Regal.
Yeah,
I like Regal where he is, and I don't see him lacing up his boots anytime soon.
No, we're probably spending too much time on this as it is because of that. But I hear you. Let's see here. What was next? We had Legado del Fantasma backstage. They say the Cruiserweight Championship is coming home to Santos Escobar by the end of the night. Typical heel promo. Raquel Gonzalez was shown warming up with Dakota Kai backstage before their title match tonight. Then they had a video package that showed Frankie Monet will have a world premiere in 2 weeks where we will officially see her in the ring finally. So she'll debut in 2 weeks. Also announced for 2 weeks from now is the Finn Balor Karrion Kross NXT Championship match. So they're starting to build 2 weeks from now, which is good. I'm glad NXT and AEW are good about promoting their shows weeks or at least a week in advance, maybe even a couple at sometimes. So that's good booking. To note too, this next match coming up here is the fourth match that was in the first hour alone on NXT. So we'd be lucky to get 4 matches in 2 hours on Raw most nights. So again, I just wanted to know.
A lot of talking.
Yeah.
A lot of talking.
I know they got to fill more time on Raw, but still, it's like 1 or 2 matches in first couple hours or hour or whatnot. It's like another. I just wanted to point out it's another thing AEW and NXT both do well. They actually center their shows around wrestling. Novel concept, I know. The next match was Mercedes Martinez versus Raquel Gonzalez with Dakota Kai at ringside for the NXT Women's Championship. Very physical match, but at times a bit botchy in my opinion. Both women just don't seem to have very good chemistry in the ring together.
No.
Mercedes Martinez just can't throw a very good punch. She was Shane McMahon and all over the place. Potatoes.
God, that's what we need.
Yeah. But
there was one spot very in particular to me that was just like, ew, fucking ew, and it was an attempted takedown.
Yeah, there was a couple of those.
The one that I forget, it was like I think the official time on my computer was like 8:59, so right around the 9-hour mark, or not the 9 o'clock time. Mm-hmm. There was just a takedown. I think it was like right before a pin attempt or something, but it was fucking horrendous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was.
They moved like molasses.
Yeah, they were just very stiff, very
terrible,
clunky. They're both bigger women. I mean, I'm not like fat, but like
stiff is not the word I would use. Stiff. When I hear stiff in wrestling, I think Shinsuke style.
Right.
This was just horrendous. We don't know what the fuck we're doing with this.
Right. It was just I don't know. The best way I know to describe it is they just didn't seem to have very good chemistry, and I don't know
No.
what it was. Definitely not the women's best attempt here for the women's division. And as I just said, they have probably the best women's division in America right now. But these two were struggling, it seems to me at least. As expected, though, Raquel Gonzalez retained her title after a single arm power bomb. Clean finish. Dakota Kai was on the ringside but didn't get involved, so good. I'm happy to see that at least.
Her finisher just looks ow.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely looks like it sucks.
Looks like it hurts.
But all in all, not their best effort, but that's okay. Middle of the show match. It wasn't a main event or anything, so cool. Let's see here. Outside, we had Isaiah Swerve Scott and his entourage pulling up in a limo, and then backstage we had Johnny Gargano was seen leaving Bronson Reed's locker room, escorted by security. Bronson Reed was down on the ground and was being helped up after an apparent attack from Johnny Gargano. So Gargano gets in a cheap shot here against Bronson Reed.
Are we just gonna skip over the Isaiah Scott shit?
Well, no, it's coming up, but they just arrived
okay.
here. Yeah, we're getting to it. Yeah, they cut in between and they showed the Gargano spot.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. NXT actually knows how to shoot shit.
With that said, though, Isaiah Swerve Scott and his entourage came out for a promo. This all sounded.
We can skip this.
Well, I'm going to. Yeah, they all.
The fucking rap was cringe as shit.
Yeah, I don't even remember the.
Oh my!
I mean,
fucking crap! I don't remember the words, but I just know I was like.
Yeah, it wasn't
why?
great. But this all sounded uber scripted like the main roster is what this felt to me. Now, however, though, this promo does at least introduces us to Swerve's entourage, which I didn't know any of these people, so I'm glad they did that at least. We got Top Dollar, which is the big dude. I don't know his name before this, but his name's Top. His name is Top. His name is Top Dollar. Yeah. So this sounds very main roster to me.
My God.
Then we got the woman, which she's very fit, very athletic looking, but her name is B-Fab because she be fabulous.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So a Bianca clone.
I mean, she looks like Jade Cargill a little bit from NXT, but yeah, Bianca.
I got complete Bianca vibes.
Yeah, maybe not without the whip and the hair and all that, but yeah, there's a little bit of that.
Without the whip, it's just. So you've made a Bianca Belair clone.
Yeah, and then, of course, the third guy in the entourage outside of Swerve is Ashanti Adonis. I believe he's been there for a while. I don't think anything's changed there. I think. Again, I haven't followed NXT for very long. We're just starting to get in the groove here with it. But their faction name as a whole is now known as Hit Row. So, I don't know if that's...
know who in the fuck comes up with the names in this company.
Yeah, and NXT is usually the better end of it.
Whoever it is needs to get their papers.
Fired.
Yeah.
That's a terrible name.
Did you hear what they were going to call Chelsea Green on the main roster before she got... Or it might have been NXT. It was one of the two shows where she started before she got hurt. And I guess, they ended up releasing her, I think it was. But they were going to call her Victorious. And she was supposed to be like,
Again, the dude who comes up with names needs to be fired.
Yeah, I mean, why can't you just use your normal... Now, granted, I say, why can't you use your normal name? And then we've got Anthony Ogogo and, what these other names.
Whoever greenlit his use of that name,
his parents,
needs to be fired.
So it's like,
in AEW's case, whoever let him, you can use your own name.
Yeah, maybe
needs to be fired.
I agree. Maybe you should have changed to a gimmick of some sort for sure. So yeah, there's pros and cons, I guess, to use your real name sometimes.
Just call him Anthony.
Yeah. Anthony the Boxer, Falcon Punch. But
I still can't believe that shit happened.
Yeah, it's not their best effort. Cameron Grimes, after this, was at an auction for a mansion. Grimes kept asking why the auctioneer was talking so fast, which, I mean, if you've seen any auctioneer ever, that's what they do.
But Grimes has, this is Grimes' first,
right.
You know what I'm saying? He's a new millionaire. All this shit's new to him.
Right. I ain't gonna lie. I said last week I've not really got into Cameron Grimes' character yet. This week he kind of won me over a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. The comedy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, come on. His music video was
the
the shit. His music video was the shit. Okay, I don't give a fuck what
you may have to say that to me. I've not seen it.
His ad libs
I know
were
I haven't.
fucking hilarious. And I'll say it to you. I was dying listening to that shit.
But anyway, as he was bidding on this mansion, he kept getting outbid by a mystery man. Grimes bid $8 million. He was outbid for $20 million. And lo and behold, it's the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Listen,
Yeah.
I love.
I want to know what is the end game.
Well, that's what I'm about to ask, because Grimes said Ted is ruining his life. Ted said everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man, his classic line. He also said that Grimes is no $1 Million Man. He does his signature laugh, walks off as Grimes screams DiBiase at the sky, much like he did last week. My question is, like you just said, where is this going? I mean, I wouldn't think it would be a match, but is Ted going to be a manager with Grimes, or what are they doing here?
That would be amazing.
That would be great.
Maybe teach him the ways of being a $1 Million Man, maybe?
That's what I'm thinking. But
He's going to do what he couldn't do with his son.
Yeah, I'm about to say, does Ted's son still work for the company?
No, I don't think so.
No, Ted Jr. has been out of the company since
For a while.
2014.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
2014, 2015.
But yeah, I mean, don't be wrong. I'd be all for this as a manager position if that's where they're going with it. But if they're going to keep up the feud, which may be temporary until they decide let's work together.
Yeah.
But as of right now, I'm like, unless maybe Ted DiBiase finds a wrestler to take his place and maybe he feuds with Grimes, that could always be a possibility. But as of right now, I'm enjoying the comedy they've got going back and forth for sure. And
I love that after the mystery man, before he gets revealed, it's like 20 million. Grimes like, who buys a house for $20 million?
Who keeps bidding against me? He kept yelling too. It's like,
yeah. Like who's bidding against me?
Now, can you refresh me? I know Brandon said that he's new to being a millionaire. I can't remember what the storyline was where he became a millionaire. Was that something I missed?
Oh, yeah. You remember when the stock market got manipulated by Reddit?
The GameStop stuff.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah.
I want to say it was GameStop.
Okay.
He invested a bunch of money in GameStop.
So they turned it into a storyline. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'll give him that. It's clever to take modern day stuff and make something out of it. Okay.
And he became a millionaire out of it, and like, it's fucking hilarious, dude.
I do want to see where this goes. I'm intrigued, if nothing else, for the comedy of it. I don't expect it to be a big time marquee feud or anything like that.
I don't think he's gonna wrestle Ted, but God, that's funny.
Zoe Starks had a video package hyping up her match next week with Toni Storm. I kind of expect Toni Storm to get her win back after she lost at WrestleMania's TakeOver. Stand and Deliver, I believe is what it's called. 50-50 booking is what I'm expecting. Now NXT, maybe they'll prove me wrong, but they seem.
I don't think so. I think Toni will end up going on this losing streak and then she'll fight her way back to the top.
And that's possible. NXT seems to be pretty high on Zoe Starks right now, so that's very. I hope that's what they do. I mean, I hate that they're.
I have personal interest in the damn feud. I've not been sold on it yet.
Yeah, they haven't really done a whole lot outside of the match at Mania. Now they made it a little bit before that, but it wasn't anything to write home about. But I hate to see Toni Storm, keep getting losses, but I'd rather someone lose instead of doing this DQ distraction stuff where no one gets a win or no one loses. So if that's the case, they could rebuild.
Also, it would
Toni.
be great if they didn't do 50-50 booking.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I mean, I
don't think they will. I think, like I said, and it's not that Toni's bad or anything. No. They're not. I think you can build something out of her losing. And then give her a mean streak, and then have her come back.
If you do losing right, you can rebuild the talent, and it won't work. And sometimes they'll get over more for it. But if you're not willing to actually have someone lose, it's kind of hard to go that route, and no one goes anywhere at that point. But yeah, I have more faith in NXT.
Situations where, oh shit, you said her name, and now I can't. Who's she wrestling against?
Zoe Starks.
Zoe
Stark or whatever.
It basically has Toni's number, and she'll beat her, and then eventually the big payoff will be the one time that Toni can pull it off.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I mean, all right. So moving on, we had Oni Lorcan versus Kyle O'Reilly. There was a video package from earlier in the day where Oni challenged O'Reilly in the parking lot. Cool Kyle said he wasn't going to do it in the parking lot, though. So the match started off with some technical wrestling, which was actually really refreshing to see. Pete Dunne appeared at ringside. Again, perfect example of what we've been talking about. No music. He just showed up at ringside. Perfect. You didn't have to do the whole distraction thing with the music. Bingo. Someone's been listening to our podcast.
So here's the thing with that. there's two people in this world that I like. Well, there's probably a couple more, but maybe four that I would not just be like, "Yo, I'll fight you." One of those people is only Lorcan.
Yeah. Well,
The other one is Kyle. The other one is Kyle O'Reilly.
Right. Well, I mean, when they challenged him in the parking lot, it was almost like he wasn't going to back down from him. So it wasn't,
It's like, but it's still like, I'm not, no. Because I've seen Oni Lorcan's matches, him and Danny Burch. They beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah.
Oni Lorcan beat, I mean,
Kyle
Oni
O'Reilly
lost, but
I've seen
Oni
Kyle
Lorcan
O'Reilly.
had some powerful fucking chops in this
That's what
match.
I'm saying.
yeah.
Like, no. And then, like I said, Kyle O'Reilly's not a slouch either. You
No.
know? So, no.
He was dishing them back out. I was just sitting here playing on my Switch.
Like,
Just
like,
kind of listening to it, and I just heard the first one I think I heard was just fucking
First of all,
Oni just smacking the shit out of Kyle's chest. I was
Like a gun went off. Yeah.
there's
exactly.
a
It's
few people
like,
in this
ow,
world
fuck.
I wouldn't let chop me.
Yeah.
Oni Lorcan, Kyle O'Reilly, and fucking Walter.
Yeah.
Walter chops me. I'll tell you right now, show's over.
Yeah.
Pack it up. We're going home.
Wrap it
And
up.
then when I see you in the
We
back,
going to the ER real quick to make sure my heart's working right.
Right.
and when I see you in the back, we ain't friends. All right, don't shake my hand. Hey, good show. Fuck off. All right, I don't like you.
Well, not only did they get the music part right, they didn't have to do that. They also did this better than every single time the main roster does it. Pete Dunne caught O'Reilly's attention, but after he was already knocked to the outside by Oni Lorcan, because O'Reilly was knocked to the outside of the ring. O'Reilly didn't distract himself with the entrance music, so it felt more natural. Plus, but it was still the distraction from the outside on the babyface spot we've seen to death on the main roster, but at least they executed it better.
But see, this one makes sense.
Yeah.
Kyle didn't know he was there, right? No music, no fanfare, nothing. He just fucking showed up.
Right.
So Kyle's focused on Oni, right? As he fucking should be. Until he gets knocked out. He's getting up, sees, Dunn at that point, like, what the fuck you doing here? That is a valid reason to now be distracted.
Bingo. And that's the proper way to do this. O'Reilly also, not unlike most babyfaces in this situation, though, he still won his match with a flying knee to the back, kind of like he finished off Cole at WrestleMania. O'Reilly was jumped after the match, though, by Dunn and Oni Lorcan. When Bobby Fish returned to NXT to make the save on Kyle O'Reilly, O'Reilly and Fish had a conversation in the ring after the save, and Fish said he gets it. Kyle has his own thing to do. Fish said he is on his own and he has his own scores to settle, so he'll see him when he sees him. So they're both going to go their separate ways. I guess the tag team's not reforming, which as they shouldn't right now. They're both in a place they should probably be on their own. So very well done.
Let's be honest, we wanted to reteam.
Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong, the team was great.
At least,
I
do. Been great.
But I think they're both going to be great on their own too.
Yeah, they ran.
Give them time to do it on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Give that plenty of space. But
Undisputed Era for a couple of years. They've held
when they debuted 2016.
Yeah,
it's been a minute.
It was when when Drew was still in NXT. So I want to say it was their summer takeover in 2016 when they debuted and beat the shit out of Drew.
Yeah. Yeah, and let's be honest. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, Redragon was great. Great tag team. They held those tag titles for a while.
They were 3-time champs.
Yeah. So, but give Kyle a singles run.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm not saying they need to do it immediately, but I wouldn't mind seeing them with these new attitudes. Have them.
Well, never say never. They may get like a reunion match at some point, things like that too.
Oh yeah.
But and here's the thing
whenever
too.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and here's the thing too. If you build both of them as singles, you're clearly probably going to get one or both of them eventually going against Adam Cole again too. Probably Fish first at this point. Maybe he wants the score settled there with him. Plus, if you build it right and maybe one goes heel eventually, you could get Bobby Fish versus O'Reilly. So which would be another great match that I don't think we've seen much. So there's things you could definitely do here. I'm looking forward to see what they do with both of them.
Yeah, and then when the tournament rolls around, as it does every year, maybe put them together in a tournament. Do like they did with that DIY thing,
Yeah.
Minus getting turned on, but still.
Yeah. Definitely possibilities with this team staying apart for sure. But it's good to see Bobby Fish back, absolutely. And he looked kind of bulky too. I mean, he looked like he was. I mean, I don't remember.
He had what? He was out on a knee injury or something.
I don't.
He's
remember.
been out like
It's
I
been a
think
bit.
twice with the injuries.
Well, he wasn't. Well, he wasn't really around when Undisputed Era broke up, was he?
No, he was out.
So there you go. I don't know. You know, if maybe he holds any animosity toward Cole then, but you'd think maybe you could play off that for sure somehow.
Oh no, for all we know, he could hold animosity against O'Reilly.
That's true. That's true. They didn't really tease anything like they were going against each other here, but he did say, "I'll see you when I see you." So
yeah,
definitely might be eventually. Then after this, we had some sort of weird, goofy. This is probably the worst video package I've seen on NXT in a while. A goofy video package with the way they were dressed like superheroes. It was almost like a commercial for the way. It was odd.
No, they're big nerds.
Well, okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big nerd too. I mean, look around. But but it was just a little weird to me. But following this video, we had Bronson Reed, fresh off his beatdown by Johnny Gargano. He cut an angry promo, and this is where he said that Regal has now made next week's North American Championship match a steel cage match against Johnny Gargano. So, again, could be a very, very good match. We'll see how they do that. I know steel cage matches sometimes. NXT usually does it pretty well, though, I think so.
It's gonna suck to beat Johnny.
Right? Yeah, definitely.
Bronson Reed's not a small man,
dude, and he's very agile. Yeah, very.
Yeah.
Main event, we had Santos Escobar versus Kushida defending his Cruiserweight Championship match. 2 out of 3 falls. As soon as the match starts, MSK attacked Legado del Fantasma at ringside. The ref immediately tossed all of them out. Good. It'll be a one-on-one match. So I was happy to see that. Good. So and it sets up
a good way. And that was a good way to do that.
Yeah.
You had MSK state earlier in the night that they want to take it to Phantasma, and they did.
Right.
So good.
And again, good tag team development. So that's something that the main roster's lacking severely. Escobar wins the first fall after delivering I don't know what he calls it, but it was basically the one-winged angel that Kenny Omega uses for his finisher for the pin. Then we quickly, right after that, not maybe within a minute or two, Kushida won the second fall with an armbar submission hold. After that, the final.
It's called the hoverboard lock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I unfortunately had the audio turned down on this spot, so I didn't hear what they called it. But after this, we had the final commercial break of the evening. So we got the final fall at the very end of the show. So we didn't get picture-in-picture, no commercial breaks to get the end of this. So again, good booking of the show when it comes to commercial breaks.
Kushida submission finisher?
No, after that. We got that before the commercial break. So
no.
Yeah, no falls.
It's the hoverboard if that's what you guys are talking about.
But yeah, no falls during commercial break.
Lock.
Yeah, exactly. But this had a good finale to the match as Kushida locked Santos Escobar's arms behind his back. Then he suplexed him into a bridge pinning combination, so Santos Escobar could not physically kick out. There was no way to be done with it. So very well done, I thought, and Kushida retains his Cruiserweight champion. Overall, good show. Yeah, what?
Kushida's a hell of a hand and a hell of a wrestler.
Oh yeah,
I personally love Kushida.
It was just a great finish. How he had him wrapped around the neck from the suplex, but when he did the suplex, he pinned the arm behind the back, like I said, and he physically couldn't move. So it was no matter how wore down he was not getting out of it. So I thought it was very clever and made narrative sense to do it here. So great finish in my opinion. So to me, I thought this was a great show. NXT seems to be the standard of pro wrestling in today's America. I know AEW's trying, but right now,
America.
NXT to me is probably the best show in the country. Again, I love AEW, but the recent weeks they've not had their best shows. So right now, currently, I'm giving it to NXT. We'll see what AEW does tomorrow night, though. So, any other thoughts?
I mean, NXT is and they've come a long way. I mean, they really have.
No.
They've come from Bo Dallas being the champ to now you got Karrion Kross.
Yeah, who looked great tonight, by the way.
And they just have this way of when they bring in okay, perfect example. When they brought Shinsuke in, they made that such a huge deal. You thought that they signed, President of the United States. The fanfare he got, and then his debut match. It did the same thing with Kevin Owens. It did the same thing with Sami Zayn, Finn Balor.
All of them.
It's not just them, even the women. I remember when Ember Moon showed up. It was a huge fucking deal, and it always is.
Asuka,
Kushida got the same. Asuka for sure. Asuka, Kushida got the same treatment, but they take you. And I think this is what a lot of wrestling is missing. They take you on a trip with these guys, even the guys that's going to be the next champion, or she's going to be the next champion.
Yep.
But you go on this whole roller coaster with them, you know, their highs, their lows, but they you get invested in these people, in these characters, and then when it pays off big. And I think NXT has really done a really good job at doing that. Like the feud between Alistair and Velveteen, it wasn't for anything but Velveteen wanted Alistair to acknowledge him.
Yeah. Kind of like what Roman Reigns is doing now, a little bit.
But he's a dick about it, though.
Right. And that was a great feud with Velveteen and Alistair, for sure. That was a great feud. But that's the one thing NXT does. They don't bring in people and then have them beat up or beaten on the first night. They actually don't ruin them when they bring up these guys and gals. They actually build them properly.
Vince does that all by himself.
Yeah, that's why I give and I try not to be harsh on Vince, but at the same time, I feel like it's warranted. So I mean, I want to see him get better, but I just don't.
What I don't get with that is, though, if you see the formula that works.
Yeah, why aren't you doing it?
I don't,
because I hear Vince don't watch NXT. It's Vince's or it's Triple H's show, and Vince is just like, do your thing. You know, Vince has.
I don't know. I don't know about that shit, because like if you gotta think about it, regardless of it being, you know, he may run the show or whatever, but Vince, that's still Vince's money.
Well, even like Vince in his own words has said on the Austin A&E documentary that, you know, what we did with Austin, you know, that worked. You know, granted, they're trying to do certain things like with Daniel Bryan where you beat him, and they try to build a guy. But some of those guys are lightning in a bottle situations. But if you think the stuff that in the Attitude Era actually worked, why aren't you doing the stuff like you did in the Attitude Era?
Yeah, that's another thing I don't get either.
So to me, it's like, you know how to do it. You just ain't doing it.
I don't think you could. But the thing is, the Attitude Era was lightning in a bottle. There was a bunch of
to a degree. There's a lot of garbage in it too, but
no,
that's wrestling in general.
There was a lot of things at that point in time, like in wrestling, everything kind of fell into place.
The talent too.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it all kind of fell into place. Like it was a situation where you needed something to eke out that aggression essentially, and the Attitude Era provided that because you had the characters that provided that. Right. So I don't think saying you want to recreate the Attitude Era now, that you can't do that.
You also didn't have people in the Attitude Era throwing tomatoes and water buckets around, so not as much. I mean, but at the same time they had like beer trucks and poop.
Beer trucks.
Good point. I outed myself on that one. So but good point. So
you know what I'm saying, like. But again, you don't have the guys that you had then and now. Okay, this is a totally different breed of characters now compared to then. So your results are not going to be the same. It's not going to happen.
And even then, you still had the '80s circus act gimmicks going around too. I mean, but you had like you said the other night, the 3 core guys, and I would throw Taker in there. I'd probably make it 4 core guys.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, you had the serious main event scene, and then you had the goofy stuff at the the main.
But even the goofy shit though, like even the goofy shit, it was goofy. But when you got down to it, it was
a lot of the in-ring was still good though.
Served its purpose. I mean, Eugene, perfect example. Eugene,
that was almost too goofy for me.
Eugene could fucking go.
He reminds me the closest to Orange Cassidy a little bit right now. The gimmick isn't real great sometimes, but the gimmick was maybe, I would say Orange's gimmick is probably a little more over than Eugene's. But again, when it got down to the serious nature of it, both of them could go, and I think that's what Orange excels at.
And I love Mick Foley. Okay, I love Mick Foley. But that Mankind gimmick was hit or miss a lot of times. But when that fucking bell rung, or you put a mic in that man,
he was like back in his ECW days.
It was, you know what I'm saying? Dude, love, complete joke. But that bell rung, totally different. You put a mic in his hands, totally different. It was, you know what I'm saying? He made it work with what he had.
That Dude Love gimmick never should have worked ever.
No way.
No,
but it did.
Yeah. Especially at mixed age when he did it, he was obviously not the skinnier kid that we saw photos of him dressed up as Dude Love when he was a child. So, his body type definitely did not put off the ladies' man gimmick. But again, like you said, the talent was there.
Think about Mark Henry, Sexual Chocolate.
Yeah,
he went from being in the Nation to Sexual Chocolate, and then literally the world's dangerous man.
Yeah, kind of like Jericho in that regard. He reinvented himself over and over again.
Yeah,
and sometimes you have to. I mean, I think Seth Rollins is doing a little bit of that. reinvented himself a little bit. Now he's still kind of got the same overall gimmick, but he had the savior thing and all that stuff. But that's the sign of a good talent, is if they could take something and make it work, even if it is not the greatest material. I mean, look at Austin when they gave him the Ringmaster. He did his best with that. Now, granted, he didn't have it for very long because finally they came to their senses. So
Stone Cold was born.
Yeah,
hey, think about Taker, prime example. That gimmick lasted through all of it.
Yeah,
and he changed. He cut his hair. Went with Dead Man Inc.
Booger Red, as that JR called him. Yeah, the biker gimmick, and yeah,
but he worked.
Yeah, and he evolved that character over 30 years. So yeah.
And then fell back to the Dead Man, and it was like, he didn't miss a fucking beat.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Hell, Kane. Yeah, he lasted through that corporate Kane to the the Demon, and and then when he took the mask off, you know what I mean? Like, he went through some phases, but it still worked for him.
I apologize. I got a glimpse of Damon. He looks like the dude off Weekend at Bernie's, right?
Dude, I've tried so hard this whole show.
He was just sitting there so quiet. Yeah,
because I'm like, is he asleep? What is he doing?
Awesome, though. But anyway, I guess we'll wrap this up, because we could talk all night about pro wrestling, but we wanted to do the NXT review here tonight. But what did you guys think about the tonight's show of NXT on USA? Comment down below. Let us know. Did you like the show? Did you not like the show? Did you like what they're doing going forward? Let us know. Hit that like button, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get all the notifications about when we put up new content on our channel. And until our next video, guys, take care.
Yeah, ready to go, man, lock and load. That's right. I swear to God that I could jump and grow. Yeah, I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable.